On a scale of 1 to sketchy, how sketchy is it?
Very.
Is it like driving into a bit?
A bit scared.
Looking forward to it?
No, not really. Right then, another video, and this time it's what everybody seems to be wanting. Tuning, cars, racing, but not racing around a circuit. So here we are. We're at a secret location somewhere in Northamptonshire. Don't want to say where it is. But what we've got here, we've got Matt and Nick's BMWs. So 435, 430, both quite heavily modified, but the 30D has got a few more mods which we can talk about. 424 horsepower, 423, whatever, 424 horsepower, and 454 horsepower. So big difference. X-drive, rear-wheel drive. So the two basically different animals. They look very similar, and I'm sure I'm going to get into the wrong one at the wrong time at some point during today because I'm supposedly driving them both. So the reason we're at an airfield is to go racing, and the fog is not helping matters whatsoever. But the idea was to do a freeway BMW battle, these two diesels against a petrol M4, which the M4 is just stage one, which a lot of people run around at. So just a remap. I think that's going to be knocking on 500 horsepower, maybe 450s, I don't know, depending what dynos you're on. We always get people asking, should I get a 30D or a 35D? Maybe today I'll answer that question. This one is fuel limited, the 3.5, because we've not done any fueling mods, whereas this one's got fueling upgrades and cams. So they should be about the same power if we do the same sort of mods, but you're going to pay 4 or 5 grand more for a 35D than you are for a 30D. So it basically depends how much you want to spend and then how much you want to spend afterwards, because you're going to probably spend a similar amount on the mods, maybe a little bit less because you're single turbo versus your twin turbo when you're doing the upgrade. But we'll see. And then due to a cancellation on some of the other battles that we're doing, we're going to be throwing a A6 bi-turbo in the mix, and that one's quite heavily modified, supposedly 500 horsepower plus. Looking at what figures they said they've done, very similar to what we've been able to sort of do on the road, but we shall see because we're on an airstrip now, and when you're side by side, anything can happen.
Like driving into a bit.
A bit scary. We need a camera facing that way because
I think it might be the Audi by a bumper, but...
Are we doing a third one again anyway, or are we not wanting to do another one?
If he's won twice,
There's no point.
There's
doing
no
the
point.
third. Right.
But if you won that one, I'm just waiting for a WhatsApp. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
If that, you can see the back of you.
Yeah,
Did it feel like that?
it was creeping. It was creeping. I was sort of level to maybe a bit ahead, and then I just said it was creeping.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. Yeah. All right, cool. So we're lined up for a drag race.
Yeah, sweet.
Ready? I think he fluffed the gear change, didn't he? He looked like he was going to win that. But if the Audi wins, it means it's a decider, so it builds the excitement. Four or five cars. Ooh. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that. That's mad. Okay, cool. We're a decider. Making things interesting. That's what we like. Ready? Thing is, we have no clue what's going on.
Okay, that was very close, but Audi for the win. Maybe one.
His only supporter. Oh, that's epic. That's epic. So the Audi takes the race. That's so dangerous. Right, lads, that's it.
Comments.
I've let team down.
You know, you can.
I need to learn how to race. That second run, it just didn't want to change gear for some
What are we
reason.
talking about?
Well, yeah,
All right,
let team
cool.
down.
You put up a good fight though.
Yeah,
you put up
yeah.
a good fight.
That second run, it just didn't want to change gear.
I
It
don't-
didn't hit limiter though. It just like went bang and went like.
That was like if you'd like drove through that or got a good run, you'd have won.
Yeah,
You'd have won.
So I think we've realised that I'm not the best driver in the world, which I think most of the viewers probably know that already. But yeah, a couple little fluff starts from me. I think in the roll race, it's hard sort of to get close. Not a long lead up to this, but anyway, no excuses. The Audi were definitely quicker on the roll race. He were brake boosting it. He got the turbo spud and he pulled a few car lengths and that were it. Just maintained it. But closer than I thought it were going to be. If that's over 500 horsepower and this is only 420, I think we've done pretty good considering. On the launch, this seems to get a little bit better on straight away. But then on the second run, for some reason, got a bit of a, I don't know whether it misshifted or what. It never hit the limiter, but it sort of didn't change gear properly. And then on the third run, just crept past me. Did what we needed to do. Can't remember the exact figures. 3.55 to 60, 11, 9, something for quarter mile. Danny will pretty up anyway. And then 100 to 200, 10.2, which the Audi were a little bit quicker on everything on its best runs. But to be expected. It's a bit heavier car, but not as much heavier as this is down on power. The power to weight's definitely still up there. But yeah, not the race that we're expected to have today, but it might answer a few people's questions. Obviously that's got big turbo and stuff, but that has got fuel and upgrade. So we'll see. 2-cylinder engines trying to get traction behind us, so we do apologise. That's a quarter-mile burnout that it's just done. But yeah, so I think we it's not conclusive as far as we're concerned. We need to get sort of 2 cars similar spec. I think just mapped ones to start and have them side by side, and then we'll have fully worked on ones and see what difference is. But yeah, happy with what we've achieved so far. The next race might be a little bit more interesting. I think we're going to try and have a three-way race, M4, 330D and the 335, but I think we probably ought to just leave the rear-wheel drive cars to go alone and see what happens, but we'll see what happens.
Scale of 1 to sketchy, how sketchy is it?
Very.
Looking forward to it?
No, not really. Third gear is useless, fourth becomes better, and then fifth it goes.
So, second proper race of the day today. The fog is clearing, but then it's getting damper on the ground, which is not going to help these two rear-wheel drive. But it should help me four-wheel drive. But I've got less power, so I need all help I can get. So, see what happens.
Alright guys, let's get back and line up for the drag race. This is going to be interesting. Ready? 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 BMW, you narrowed it down there. Was that the one on the right? The BMW on the right? Yeah.
On the right side wins.
And who comes second? What colour? Black or white?
For the second, about half car of the 430.
Ready?
Okay, this time X-Drive win by about half a car length,
Okay.
and then M4,
Okay.
and then 4:30.
Cool.
About 2 cars behind.
Cool. That's all she wrote. That's it then. Yeah, that's it.
Bossed it on dragging. It did that same thing in second gear again though.
What? Like a weird shift?
Yeah, yeah. It just didn't. It's like it don't want to shift when it's in manual, but it's fine if you leave it in sport, then start shifting.
Right. Weird.
And they said I did both then.
Yeah.
Right.
About 2 car lengths first
Right.
time, and then about half
Cheers.
car length second
Right,
time.
I'm going to say it was 5 seconds to 60 that second time, like a second and a bit slower.
Right.
So we've just done the roll race against the M4. I think we did alright. My car obviously the slowest one, just purely because it's probably 60 horsepower down on the M4 and 30 horsepower or so down on the 330D. But it was pretty good, really enjoyed it. Once we got to the launching, no problem at all, just drove away from them both. Had a little misshift on the second run again. No, that's that car. It's not that car, it's that car. But yeah, still won the race. Matisse having an hell of a time, keeping it in a straight line. He reckoned it was probably about 80 miles an hour before he could fully commit, full throttle, spend some more time driving. The conditions remain the same. It'd be quicker. We had the M4 one time, I think, so pretty happy with that. I think considering how much you could build with that form compared to an M4 and how much better the economy is. It's a win for us. I think it'd be nice to come back when the conditions are a little bit more cars, even for the drag racing, but we shall see. Daniel put up all the figures from everything, so we'll get them from Race Logic. Yeah, we're happy. It's not been the day that we expected. We wanted some trophies and stuff like that, but it's how it goes. This is what happens when you don't prepare enough time.